A judge mocks a teenage girl in court, only to be stunned when he discovers that she is a genius lawyer in disguise. The courtroom falls completely silent as the truth unravels. Within seconds, Judge Morgan Stevens' face loses all color. Her arrogance shifts to horror as she realizes that this troubled teen has not only exposed the flaws of the case but also an entire corrupt system that she helped create. It's too late for her to turn back now. Courtroom 302 of the district court is packed this Thursday morning, the wooden benches creaking under the weight of the people who have gathered to watch what seems like a routine case. Luna Rylott, a 19-year-old black woman, sits alone at the defense table, her delicate hands resting on a worn brown folder. The case seemed too simple: breaking into a mansion in an upscale part of the city and committing a burglary. The evidence is clear: Luna on security cameras, eyewitnesses, and even a complete set of fingerprints. For Judge Stevens, this was just another number in her tally, another young woman she would send to jail without hesitation. Prosecutor Rachel Parker organizes her papers with a smile, having won hundreds of similar cases. For her, this is just another normal day at the office. But there's something different about Luna. Something in her gaze unsettles the prosecutor in a way she can't explain. "Let's wrap this up," says Judge Stevens, adjusting her luxury glasses. "I don't have all day to waste on obvious cases." Some in the audience laugh, while others nod in approval. Luna remains motionless, eyes fixed on a distant point, as if calculating each second, waiting for the perfect moment. Luna signals to an older woman, Patricia Mills, who begins to rise, but before she can speak, Luna gently touches her arm. "Thank you for your help, Ms. Mills," Luna whispers, "but I will defend myself from here on." The entire courtroom freezes. Judge Stevens lowers her glasses, looking over them with a mix of incredulity and disdain. "What?" she asks, her voice laced with sarcasm. "You think watching a few seasons of a lawyer show qualifies you for this?" Laughter ripples through the room. Prosecutor Parker smiles, packing her papers into her briefcase, relieved that this would require less work for her. But Luna slowly stands. There's something in her posture that gradually silences the laughter. She doesn't appear nervous or intimidated. On the contrary, there is a quiet confidence in her movements, as if every gesture had been carefully planned. "Your Honor," Luna begins, her voice clear and firm, filling the courtroom, "I would like to officially inform the court of my desire to waive my attorney and represent myself, as is my constitutional right." Judge Stevens dramatically sighs. "Miss Rylott, you're charged with a serious offense. Are you sure you want to make a circus out of this?" Luna tilts her head slightly. "With all due respect, Your Honor, the only person turning this case into a circus is you, with your disparaging remarks and your rush to convict me before even hearing my defense." A stunned silence fills the room. Prosecutor Parker straightens in her chair, suddenly alert. Judge Stevens grips her gavel so tightly that her fingers turn white. "You're treading on dangerous ground, young lady," the judge warns. "No, Your Honor," Luna responds calmly. "I'm just beginning to show you where the real danger is in this courtroom." If you're wondering how a teenager had the courage to stand up to one of the city's most feared judges, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because what happened next forever changed the justice system in this county. Judge Stevens slams her gavel. "Fine, Miss Rylott, since you insist on digging your own grave, go ahead, but don't say you weren't warned." Luna calmly opens her worn briefcase. Prosecutor Parker watches each of her movements, a growing sense of unease in her stomach. There's something in the way Luna handles the documents, something in the way her eyes scan the room. What no one knows is that Luna Rylott is not like other defendants. For 3 years, she has studied every case handled by this judge, every decision, every small detail most would consider insignificant. She knows the system better than those who created it. And now, finally, it's time to reveal to the world the truth hidden behind the robes and gavels. The game is about to begin, and Luna is just warming up. The silence in the courtroom is shattered by the sound of the prosecutor's heels clicking on the marble floor, her initial confidence giving way to growing irritation. Luna Rylott was not the naive teenager everyone expected her to be, and it was becoming clear to everyone in the room. "Your Honor," Luna says, her calm voice contrasting with the tension in the air, "I would like to present Exhibit A." She pulls from her briefcase a set of neatly organized documents. These are the complete security footage records from the Hamilton mansion. Judge Stevens rolls her eyes, adjusting her gold-rimmed glasses. "The same footage that shows you entering the property. I don't see how this helps your defense, Miss Rylott." Luna smiles faintly, a smile that makes people uncomfortable. "Actually, Your Honor, this is exactly what I want to talk about." She walks toward the jury, her steps calculated. The footage shows someone entering the mansion at 11:47 p.m. on March 15. The prosecution claims it's her, but there are some interesting details that the investigating officer conveniently ignored. "Objection," Prosecutor Parker interrupts abruptly. We've already established that the footage is clear enough for identification. Denied, says the judge, revealing an involuntary curiosity. Miss Rylett, but don't test my patience. Luna walks to the projector and displays a specific image from the security video. The image shows a shadowy figure crossing the mansion's garden. Look at the person's shadow in the recording as they pass the garden light. Using the fence as a reference, we can estimate their height at about 1.75 meters. Luna pauses dramatically and turns toward the prosecutor. I'm 1.60 meters, according to my medical records, which, curiously, were not included in the case file, despite the defense requesting them 3 times. The room begins to murmur. Prosecutor Parker uncrosses her legs, subtly adjusting her posture. But this is just the beginning, Luna continues, her voice rising. Observe how the person moves in the video, how they handle the equipment to disable the alarm, how they open the door, how they hold the objects. Every movement clearly indicates they're right-handed. Luna then picks up a pen and, with a smooth gesture, writes her name on a blank sheet of paper with her left hand. Her handwriting is impeccable. I'm left-handed. I've always been. It's noted in all my school records, from kindergarten to high school. She begins handing out copies of her school records to the jury. Dozens of teachers over 12 years documented this characteristic. This is part of my official psychomotor profile. Prosecutor Parker stands abruptly. That's circumstantial. Anyone can learn to write with both hands. Luna nods as if she expected this objection. Excellent observation, Prosecutor Parker. That's why I've brought more evidence. She pulls out another document from her briefcase. This is the visitor log from the municipal hospital in Greece, more specifically from the ICU, where my grandmother was admitted that night. The courtroom falls silent as Luna projects the new document. As you can see, I signed the visitor log at 11:45 p.m. on March 15th. Here's my signature, naturally with my left hand. And here's another document, the hospital's security footage showing my entry and exit. I stayed with my grandmother until 12:30 a.m. Judge Stevens leans forward, her expression changing for the first time. You're suggesting you have an alibi. I'm not suggesting it, Your Honor. I'm proving it. Luna then reveals her next card. And what's most interesting, she says, is that Inspector Marcus Williams, the lead investigator, requested the footage from the hospital 3 days after the crime. He knew I was there. He saw the footage. Prosecutor Parker is visibly shaken. How did you get access to that footage? Luna smiles. The Freedom of Information Act, prosecutor. A powerful tool for those who know how to use it. And do you know what else I discovered? She projects another image. Inspector Williams has a cousin, Thomas Williams. He's 1.80 meters tall, right-handed, and, interestingly, he worked as a security technician at the Hamilton Mansion for 2 years, until he was fired 3 weeks before the burglary. The courtroom is filled with whispers. Judge Stevens strikes her gavel repeatedly, but the noise continues. This is defamation, protests the prosecutor, but her voice trembles slightly. No, Madam Parker, Luna responds. This is an investigation. She presents more documents. In the past 2 years, Inspector Williams has led 10 investigations in which crucial evidence was either lost or ignored. In 3 of these cases, people close to him were initially suspected, but all were cleared, while innocent people were wrongfully charged instead. Judge Stevens removes her glasses and massages her temples. Prosecutor Parker begins flipping through her files frantically. And do you know what's even more troubling? Luna continues, her voice heavy with controlled indignation. In all of these cases, the defendants share a common trait. They are young, black, and unable to afford a private defense lawyer. The silence that follows is deafening. Luna slowly closes her briefcase, her eyes fixed on the judge. The real question, Your Honor, is not whether I committed this crime. The real question is how many lives have been destroyed by